Welcome to the first episode of Gigabite TV, the sensibly scientific show where I, Mike, show you how to apply food science to make the impossible possible and the stupefying simple. Behind me is my mechanical appliance coordinator, or Mac, who will be helping us from time to time. So join us as we learn more about food on... Would you look at that? Lime sorbet. This slightly acidic summertime treat can offer relief at even the most sweltering of temperatures. The only problem is to make such a wonderfully scoopable ice, one needs an ice cream churn and a lot of time. But what if I told you there was a way around the ice cream churn, using a product that is easily found in any health food store? What is it, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. Back in the 1840s, a French chemist and pharmacist named Theodore Goblet, who I'm sure did not look like a marshmallow peep, was tinkering around with eggs when he'd extracted a curious chemical with emulsifying properties. A little while later, he named this product after the Latin lecithos. Today, the product is known as lecithin, a powerful tool and one of the few emulsifiers that are safe for consumer use. It is found mainly in egg yolks, but most commercial lecithin now comes from soy as a byproduct of processing.
Lecithin is also used for emulsification, as an anti-splattering agent, as a bread preservative. It protects frozen yeast, it controls dust, helps water dispersal, helps to increase HDL, reduces fat and egg requirements, and it can make foams, the last of which we will be using today.
Lecithin is composed of 5 parts. The first 3 parts are the parts of a standard lipid, a glycerol unit attached to 2 fatty acids. This composes the hydrophobic part of lecithin. Attached to the other end of the glycerol, however, is a phosphoric acid, which is attached to a choline, which is an amino acid. This is the hydrophilic end of the molecule. Thus, when agitated in the presence of water, the hydrophilic ends attach to water, while the hydrophobic tails are concealed in the bubble, away from the water. That is how lecithin forms foams. Lecithin comes in 2 basic forms, solid granules or liquid, the first of which I'll be using today. Now, lecithin foams up best when it makes up about 0.6% of the mass of the liquid. Since that's impossible to measure, I add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of lecithin per cup of liquid. Now, the best way to make a foam is with a bar blender. If you don't have a bar blender, then grinding up the granules with either a food processor or a blender and then foaming the mixture with a hand mixer works as well. What happens if you add more, you ask? Well, let's see. Of course, this is just water, but lecithin can be used to foam up any water-like liquid. Speaking of, our single cup of lime sorbet begins with 80 grams of sugar, which is about half a cup, dissolved in half a cup of lime juice, freshly squeezed, and half a cup of water, which doesn't have to be freshly squeezed. Bring all of this to a boil to dissolve all the sugar, and then allow to cool. Does anyone know any good jokes? Once cool, add a teaspoon of lecithin into the pot and foam up with your chosen method. Scoop the foam off into a shallow vessel until you no longer get any pure foam. Add another teaspoon of lecithin into the remaining liquid and blend it. Pour this froth into the vessel and give a quick blend to break up the large bubbles, then freeze until firm. The next day, scoop into your desired mold after mashing down the larger sections of foam, and then refreeze. Then demold and serve. Lecithin, our hero for the scientific stage, has performed admirably, creating an airy ice without the need for an ice cream churn. Can lecithin be used for other applications? Our friend is not a one-trick phospholipid. The possibilities for lecithin are endless. This is Mike reminding you to turn your kitchen into your own laboratory. See you next time.